A massive score of 37-3. Young fullback Phil Sigsworth had a field day, scoring a try and kicking 8 goals. Tonight Sigsworth has been switched to the centre, and import Greg Watt from Wagga gets a run as custodian. Among a large pack of forwards selected for this match is Stephen Blythe, who sustained a frightful injury from a high tackle last year against Balmain, which finished him for the season. It's a measure of his courage and dedication that he's back on the paddock at all. Now this season it's little doubt that the Jets appear to have strengthened their first 13, and it could be a very, very good one. But it is going to be a matter of discussion whether they've sufficient depth of talent in the lower grades to pose a premiership threat. Only time will tell. Canterbury really played some great football in wet conditions last round against the Parramatta Eels to finish with an 18-7 scoreline in their favour. Any team which can turn on tries like this one, scored by fullback Stan Cutler, is worthy of respect. Still, that's an indication of this team. Under their coach Ted Glossop, they've developed teamwork and understanding to a very high degree. Some players' form falls away as they get to the veteran class. At age 27, Chris Anderson has still got a number of seasons left, but in my view, he's an infinitely better player now than he was first chosen to play for Australia back in 1975. 5'8" Gary Hughes is a late withdrawal. The solution the team have come up with is Mark, his brother, and Stephen Folkes having a half each as lock and 5'8". Both are fairly widely experienced in the dual position. Additionally, the other brother, Graham Hughes, has succumbed to a strained hamstring. His loss has caused a forward reshuffle. John Coveney is promoted into the front row, and Big Peter Smith, one of last year's grand final heroes, slips into the second row vacancy. Now, Canterbury have developed great flair and attacking style, a far cry from the dour attitude the club displayed in the late 60s and early 70s. It's to be hoped this style and flair rubs off on some of the more defensively minded first-grade club coaches. Rugby league, again in my view, is a game of attack. Defence can be taught, but organising teams to score this class of try is a long and arduous task. But the rewards to the players, and especially the fans, is immense. Well, that's it for the Bulldogs. Let's have a look now as both sides take the field. On come the Newtown Jets, led by their captain, Tommy Raudonikis. This is the full side. Greg Watt, Chris Doyle, Phil Sigsworth, Mick Ryan, Brian Hetherington, Mark O'Brien, Tom Raudonikis half and captain, Graham O'Grady lock, Jeff Bugden, Stephen Blythe, Peter Ryan, Barry Jensen and Steve Bowden. And the coach, of course, is Warren Ryan. Well, it seems rather funny to see Tommy Raudonikis in other than a Magpie jersey, but that's rugby league. Tommy will bring to his association with the Jets the same drive and will to win, which has highlighted his long career with West. He'll lead by example, as he's always done. Now the Canterbury side coming out, led by their skipper, George Paponis. This is the full team. Stan Cutler, Chris Anderson, Terry McCartney, Peter Mortimer, Lee Pomfret, Steve Folkes in number 14, Steve Mortimer, Mark Hughes, number 8, Jeff Robinson, Peter Smith, Dave Moffat, George Paponis, number 12, and John Coveney. The coach, of course, is Ted Glossop. Well, Paponis, the Bulldog skipper, number 12 there, did well against the large Parramatta pack last weekend, halving possession. George is another come-on, not go-on style of captain, and I believe his tactical battle with Raudonikis tonight should be full of interest. The referee, Mr. Dennis Braybrook. And it's interesting to look at the statistics these two sides have had over the time since they met from 1974. Those teams have met on 15 occasions. Canterbury have won 10, Newtown have won 4, drawn 1, points for Canterbury 305, Newtown 154. That's 2-1 in favour of Canterbury. And Newtown have not won a premiership game against Canterbury since August 74, and then only by 1 point. Canterbury running from left to right. And the lighting here at Henson Park is vastly improved on previous occasions. As a matter of fact, it's very, very good indeed. There are no shadows over the ground at all. Canterbury in their traditional blue and white uniform with the white body of the jersey and the blue shoulders and stripe down the arm and blue pants. Newtown in the solid blue colour jersey, white shorts, and the 3 rings around the arm, the white rings. The penalty goes to Newtown. The kick for touch is successful. I thought it may have been touched. Now then, let's have a look at this Newtown side and see what they can do with the ball. Just over the halfway line now. Some pretty strong body contact going to be evident in this game because this is a large Newtown pack of forwards, very large. Nicely on to Ryan, former Cronulla player. Number 11, big strapping lad. Mark O'Brien, the little 5'8", who's elusive. Henson at half-back, he'll be there a lot. That's another penalty. Mr. Braybrook considering that Smith was offside. And another penalty. That's 2 in the opening minute to Newtown. They'll take a kick at goal, I believe. Phil Sigsworth is the man. He had a field day last week. 18 points, as I mentioned earlier. A try and... or 19 points, was it? A try and 8 goals. Sigsworth's 79 record is interesting. Didn't kick. Well, it's interesting because he didn't kick, but in 78 he kicked 10 goals from 18 attempts. Success rate of 55.6%. Very clever player, this lad. He's got a kick from 12 metres inside the half. Barry Ross is down on the ground. The conditions down there, Barry?
Perfect, Rex. I'm sitting here with Gary Hughes, and we're just saying we think we're in Montego Bay in Jamaica. It's so good down here.
Well, there you are. One of these world travellers. No breeze. Sigsworth kick. Straight over. Opening blood for the Jets. 2-0. Well, an early setback to Canterbury. They've been a little bit premature coming up. Penalised twice for inside the 5. Folks kicks off. He's playing at lock, I noticed, and Mark Hughes is at 5'8". They're going to have a half each. Stephen Blythe. And believe me, it will be a big night for Blythe if he gets through, because he's had a terribly broken jaw last year, didn't play after that. And the psychological impact of playing first grade again will be pretty big. As Sigsworth, I noticed, even though he's playing in the centre, came in behind to play the ball there to kick. So he'll be taking that duty from Greg Watt, apparently. Mark Hughes at dummy half. And a penalty now the other way against Newtown inside the 5, and he's waving his arm, Mr. Braybrook, there, indicating he could have got any one of 5 or 6 of them. Lee Pomfret will take the kick. Well, from the middle of the field, he couldn't expect too much in the way of distance. He gained about 15 metres. He's right on the halfway line. Steve Mortimer. That's young Smith, who was virtually unknown until the grand final last year, and didn't he play his heart out? Steve Mortimer. Moffat. Chunkily built fellow. Opponents, you'll see mostly at dummy half. Coveney sporting a big strapping on that right knee. He had a nasty injury last year. Folks, making heavy weather of this Newtown defence at the moment, but early days. Mark Hughes cuts out a man. It's the pass away on the inside there to Terry McCartney. McCartney going beautifully. That's a great run by McCartney. Unloads well out to Pomfret, who's backed up numbly, and he's going to score! Well done, McCartney. That was a beautiful, incisive bit of running. He got through some paper-thin defence. They just opened up, let him go to the right, then step back. See it again. Don't let's take any credit away from the ball carrier. Now, it was clever work by Hughes, Mark. He's beaten 2 there, stepped. Rodonicus was one that had a hand on him. McCartney elusively running, beat Watt, and then unloaded at exactly the right time. And Pomfret was able to scurry away up the left-hand touch, despite the defence of Graham O'Grady coming over and score. From head on, it'll look pretty good. Now look at the footwork. A lovely step off the right foot. And there he goes again. He's very good off that right foot. Came inside a high one. It just as well that missed. There might have been somebody with 7 weeks. And Pomfret gets that fend down just enough to get the ball down before over the touch and goal line. Good try. So I say that Canterbury were having some trouble with the Newtown defence. 6 minutes they've posted their first 3-pointer. Kick, not an easy one. Right from the sideline. It's not Stan Cutler kicking, it was
Lee Pomfret.
Lee Pomfret, yes. They've told us that Cutler would be taking the kick. The kick was unsuccessful. The scoreline 3-2. Well, Mark Hughes showed a bit of cleverness there. I don't know whether his brother, who's sitting with Barry Ross down there, Gary, would be all that pleased about Mark setting that try up for the Canterbury side. What's he feel about his brother outshining him there, Barry?
Yes, Gary, we're just talking about your brother. He's playing so well at 5'8". How do you feel about that?
It could be a problem. He's played there before. A lot of times he's been the first grade 5'8", and I've been the second grade 5'8". He's very hard to get out of there.
And your injury, Gary, you've got a slight, it's only a minor problem, is it? And you'll be okay for the first competition game against Newtown in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I've got a thigh injury after last week's game against Parramatta. It's giving me a little bit of trouble during the week at training. I decided to miss tonight, make sure it's right for the first game.
Well, that was Gary Hughes talking to Barry Ross. The penalty has gone against George Paponis for interfering with the tackled player. And we'll have Phil Sigsworth having his second attempt. He's had one success to date. Not a huge crowd. I'd estimate maybe 5,000 or 6,000 people. Still many people without petrol, of course. Don't forget our telecast tomorrow at the usual Sevens Big League time on a Sunday night of 6:30. There's a very interesting game between St George and Cronulla Sutherland from Jubilee Oval. That'll be a full match telecast. Sports World tomorrow, back at its usual time, 11 through 1. Full sports coverage of all major sporting events, and all the rugby league matches will be featured in Controversy Corner with a panel. Sigsworth, 3 metres, 4 metres inside the quarter, about 20 metres off centre. Lines it up. No trouble. 2 from 2. Sigsworth started in fine form. So there's the scoreline. Newtown 4, Canterbury 3. At 9 minutes of play, Coveney kicks off again. O'Brien, the little 5'8", just outside the quarter. Stephen Blythe. I'd like to see this Newtown pack of forwards a little bit more aware of the man running with them than just running one out as they're doing at the moment. Jeff Bugden was the last man to take it up. Ryan there, desperately trying to get his arms free, but couldn't do so. Yes, they're just going one out at the moment. Steve Bowden at 3 in a row, around about halfway. They should be using the ball off the ruck. Sigsworth's kick is a low trajectory. It rebounds off a player. It's been fielded by Canterbury. They've got it. Pomfret came up with it. Steve Mortimer. Robinson. He loves to run. He's had knee trouble too, but and a broken jaw or cheekbone last year. He's in the wars after being almost never injured prior to that time. He's very proud of that. A beautiful pass from Pomfret out to Cutler. Just quick hands. A John Brass type of pass. Mark Hughes, Steve Mortimer, Coveney, and they brought him to a shuddering halt. Midway between the halfway and quarter, Canterbury's end, Paponis. Switch of play, Robinson has it in the blind side. Nicely to Folks. Last tackle coming up. Now, what are Canterbury's tactics on the 6? Paponis, Steve Mortimer using the ball. Mark Hughes cuts out a man again. The pass has gone out to Peter Mortimer. Got it out there, nicely to Chris Anderson. Anderson goes up, gets the pass back inside. It's to Mark Hughes, back to Anderson. He drops it. It's over the sideline. The referee ruled a forward a knock on there, so it's a little bit expecting too much, I think, to have Anderson twice in the move so quickly.
Even though a few passes went astray then, Rex, did you notice that beautiful pickup from Mark Hughes?
Yes, all the Hughes boys are very dexterous handlers. Penalty against the Canterbury hooker, Paponis going down in the scrum. Didn't signal a loose arm, but he signalled that he was down on his knees. Sigsworth doing all the kicking. Didn't make a great gain out of that. About 15 metres. Brian Hetherington. Number 5. He's a player that has not quite realised his potential. A lot of people thought he was going to be a great player. Rodonicus' pass was a bad one. Jensen looking for somebody, gets it back to Rodonicus. Beautiful pass from Rodonicus there. That's quality football out to Hetherington, and it took a damn good tackle to stop that move. Now running onto it strongly, Steve Bowden. Inside the quarter, Newtown in a good attacking position. They should move this wide and quick, but they don't. Jensen goes up the blind side. Bowden. Rodonicus, O'Brien, dummies, steps. Midfield about 18 metres away from the Canterbury line, and it's the last tackle. Mr. Braybrook signifies. Sigsworth sets that one up high. Now this is going to be interesting. They'll cut the stood his ground. It's a try, I think. No, the referee Braybrook has disallowed it. Oh, Cutler did marvellously well. I didn't think he got the ball in the air, but he certainly came up with it. See it again from head on. Sigsworth's kick was a marvellously judged kick, and Cutler stood his ground beautifully. Watch him. Doesn't take his eyes off the ball. Yes, he did come up to the ball. He caught it on the way down. There's no doubt about that. He caught it low, but he caught it. That's really good concentrating football, ignoring the harm that might come to you, just standing your ground. Jensen, Rodonicus, the run around back inside there. Bowden spills it. It's on the ground. Canterbury have it. Steve Mortimer's the man. He's about 5 metres from the quarter line. Paponis goes for a little sprint. 3-metre game. 4-3 Newtown lead. 2 penalty goals from 2 attempts to Sigsworth, and a try, and a very good one to Lee Pomfret. Paponis, Mark Hughes, Coveney. Good defence there from Stephen Blythe, who's not shirking any of the rough stuff. The head-on tackling that I'm referring to. Stokes' kick is good. That's Fine's touch, and a very good one, about a 45-metre game. All that Hetherington could do was to get a hand to it. Over this scrum, I think we'll show you George Paponis' 79 track record as far as ball winning is concerned. There he is. He's won 201 from 410 in 21 matches. Success rate 49%. That's a rather wry smile on the face of George Paponis, but he's got a penalty out of that. And did you hear Mr. Braybrook then? He said, "Come on, fair go." So referees having a chat to the players. I noticed with interest, Barry Ross, that Mr. Hartley, a highly controversial referee, good referee, but a highly controversial one, has been told, it is reported he's been told to keep his hands off players. There was a picture published in one of the papers this week of him holding on to Peter Sterling by the jersey and admonishing him. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. Well, of course, that's been the talk between the players and officials for not only this season, last season too, Rex. Mr. Hartley is alleged to have done that on a number of occasions, and apparently they want to stamp it out.
Well, it's important because there's always the horrifying possibility of somebody in the heat of the moment going bang and flattening a referee that may take hands on him. Pomfret. Well, that was always going to the left. You can see the way his foot came from outside in, just like a golf drive. It was always going to fade. He had aimed it to the left and it faded back a little bit. I know all about doing that. I'm a chronic slicer off the tee. Now Newtown, let's see some more constructive play in the forwards. The short passing, not just running one out. That's what it's about. It's not just sufficient to be big and strong and hard and ruthless. There's got to be a little bit of skill with it. O'Brien, O'Grady. Sigsworth evaded one tackle, held by the leg. Quite legitimate tackle there from Anderson. Ryan cracks the tackle, goes up the side. Got to pass away. It's gone to ground. Paponis, who's a master at getting on the loose ball, was Johnny on the spot and fell on it. It's been kicked through. It'll be 6 to go. Moffat has it. 4-3. Newtown lead Canterbury at Henson Park under the brilliant lighting here. Now Steve Mortimer going for one of his little sprints and all that acceleration. The gap closed before he could get through it, but he really is like a jackrabbit. Mark Hughes. Little toe punt being put through there by folks. It's gone to ground. It's been kicked through. Play on, says the referee. Who's got it? O'Grady had to be there to kick it dead. That was a try. Otherwise, good cover from the lock forward, formerly with Western Suburbs. Play will restart from the goal line as it was kicked dead by a defending player. Sigsworth again with a drop. Nicely stopped there by Pomfret with a foot. Back slam by Sigsworth. Paponis, Steve Mortimer. Mark Hughes, long, beautiful pass out to folks. He's wrapped up quickly, but the idea was great. The pass across the body of the inside back. Robinson a dummy half. Mark Hughes again turns it back inside. Peter Mortimer, one of the becoming famous Mortimer clan. Oh, Smith groped for that. And Newtown come up with the ball. Jeff Bugden fell on it. Mick Ryan unloads to Sigsworth. Good defence, right round the boot tops by Peter Mortimer. Ryan again. Oh, Ryan's lost it. It's been knocked backwards though. O'Grady has it. And a good bit of defence by George Paponis, who, Barry Ross, do you remember the sprint last week when he backed up inside one of his inside backs? George Paponis?
Yes, against Parramatta.
Yeah. He surprised me with his pace.
George is always there when there's a try on.
Yes. Aware of Greeks bearing gifts, eh? Newtown moving a little bit better now. The long pass from Sigsworth is a fine one. And what a good tackle by Anderson. Oh, this is a quality low kick. That's a lovely kick. That's a Bobby Fulton special. Taking play up to the quarter. I mentioned in our dressing room sojourn earlier that Chris Anderson, in my view, is an infinitely better player now than he was when he was first selected to play for Australia in '75. Can agree or disagree?
There's no doubt about that, Rex. Well, since he was selected in that team, he had a very flat period where he spent some time in reserve grade, but then he made the Kangaroo Tour in '78 and hasn't looked back at all since then.
O'Grady off Rodonicus, the lovely pass in front of Sigsworth, and does this young man know the way to go to the line? That was lightning acceleration, gets up and plays it forward. Look at him spin, he scored! That's a good try by Sigsworth. Well, I think you can put him anywhere on the side and he'd give a quality performance. He's got all sorts of skills and he thoroughly deserved the try, but Rodonicus was involved in that. A nice bit of football to get the play to this position. Now, Sigsworth not held, not marked, slack football by Canterbury, and I'm sure Ted Glossop will have something to say about that. From head on, watch it. Now, the Canterbury players, Stan Cutler there, turns the back, and that's the unpardonable sin, really. Cutler is a very experienced player, little doubt about it. Now, Phil Sigsworth's record, as far as try scoring is concerned, in 1979, he scored 6 tries from 16 games. Well, that's his goal-kicking record in '78. Success rate of 55 and 6 tries from 16 games, make him a very valuable player.
Of course, the Newtown coach, Warren Ryan, has no hesitation in saying he'll be playing for Australia very soon.
Well, another goal to him. So that's a try and a goal, and Barry Ross is the mathematician. That's 8 and 6 and 3 is 9, and 28 points so far. That's in 1.5 matches. He's only a broth of a boy too. He's not a big lad, is he?
No, he'd only be about 12-4, 12-7, something like that.
Yeah, ringing wet. I've got to compliment the Newtown club and the people responsible for the ground. It looks an absolute picture. You won't see a better looking football ground in Sydney. The grass is magnificently manicured. The lighting is superb. I've got to give a rap while I'm in the mood to the Marrickville Council electricians who came up and said we'll be doing more with the lighting. This is during the reserve grade. We'll be doing more with the lighting. This is a couple of goes for a sprint up the left. And indeed they did. They improved the lighting even what it was for the second grade game. Mark Hughes bleeding from the right cheek. He'll be... Yes, Newtown 3, Canterbury 2 errors. That's the number of times each side has squandered possession to the other team. Newtown 9, Canterbury 3. Opponents, Steve Mortimer. Smith's lost it again. That's the second time this young fellow has been unable to hold the ball, and on each occasion the other team have come up with it, not just a knock on and a scrum down. Newtown, if we can coach from the commentary position, was they look better when they move it out quicker along the three-quarter line. Rodonicus, quick hands to Grady, nice pass out there wide and lobs it out over the top. It's gone out to Chris Doyle. Back inside it comes to Grady, who's not wrapped up. Bit of ordinary defence by Canterbury. Back inside with a touch judge said the play went over the sideline. Must have been just a fleeting foot as Greg Watt too was involved. Greg Watt, the fullback. Yes, let's have a look from head on and you'll be able to see just what transpired. Now watch the feet. Yes, on the line is out. Canterbury looking in a little bit of disarray at the moment. They've come up with that scrum. Steve Mortimer. Stephen Folks up to the quarter line. Penalty goes against Canterbury. Using the elbow. I didn't see that. Maybe worth a look. We'll see it again on the desk. To do with trying to release himself, probably. I don't think it was meant with malicious intent. We'll see it again. Well, we didn't capture it on the disc. The aftermath was there, not what went before. Now, Sigsworth had 3 from 3, scored a try. This one's well within his capabilities. A metre inside the quarter. And I'd suggest he's about 8 metres off centre. Sigsworth in 79, 6 tries from 16 games. That's as a fullback, incidentally, not as a centre. Studying concentration, this young fellow, the head down. Keith Barnes would like his action, I would imagine. Straight through it. It's over. Wasn't the greatest kick in the world, but didn't seem to strike that all that well. But there it is, 11 points to 3 in favour of Newtown. And this man, Sigsworth, has scored the lot.
I think, if I can remember back to the first pre-season game this year, Rex, when Newtown played West, I think Sigsworth scored 9 points that day too. So that means he's got now 39 points in 3 games, or 2.5 games.
Well, he's going to get his name in the paper tomorrow, little doubt about it. Stephen Blythe. Henson. O'Brien, who's quite a smart little player at 5'8". Newtown working their way up towards the halfway area. Right in the middle of the field now. O'Grady busts 1 tackle. Got support on the inside. Still going. Has busted 2 tackles. He's up towards the quarter line. Last tackle. Need to quick play the ball here. Need to move it quickly. Rodonicus does just that. Ryan out to the... Oh, it's gone out to the wing 3/4. Hetherington, and it was the last tackle. He chopped and came back in field. Now let's look at the statistics for Barry Jansen's scrum capability. 79 record, 192 from 408 in 21 matches. Success rate 47%. Now we've got an injured player, and worse often than it is. Smith. A little bit of a punch-up going on here. Robinson. And I think it's Jeff Bugden having a bit of a set too, and I hope this goes quietly. There's a lot of players trying to separate players at the moment. There's not much in the way of punching going on. Just the two. I think everybody else raced in just to quieten the action down. Is that the way you saw it, Barry Ross?
Yes, they were the two players involved originally.
Well, let's see what the referee is going to talk to them about. Can we capture what instigated that problem? George Paponis and Robinson standing on the left in the blue corner at 188 pounds. And now in the white corner with the blue top. Let's see what happened. Now there's Robinson coming through on the berth, and he's obviously run into Bugden and been tackled without the ball, I'd suggest. And that's when the business hit the fan. And Robinson appears to be fairly aggressive. He's got him in a bear hug. There's a little bit of mass hysteria taking place at that stage. You'll see George Paponis cooling things down here. He's got his arms on the back of Robinson. I think he's trying to pull him away. And I hope neither of these lads get walked for it. From head on, there's the action. There are two little groups of action. There's Robinson and Jeff Bugden having a set to. A lot of milling around. I suggest 99% of that was trying to stop other people doing things. There's nobody off. Penalty goes to Canterbury. And we deduce from that Bugden has been found the aggressor. Robinson was merely a bystander.
Referee Braybrook did caution Peter Ryan, the Newtown front rower, also in that incident.
Peter Mortimer, well tackled. Now, is that going to bring a little bit of needle into the match with 5 minutes to go and a scoreline reading 11-3 Newtown's favour? Remember, Canterbury scored their first try in the opening few minutes. 6 minutes, I think it took them to crack the line. Paponis, Mark Hughes, Terry McCartney, who set up the try. Paponis, Steve Mortimer, Robinson. Welcome back, says Bugden. Paponis, Mark Hughes, Popes. He's bleeding from the head too. McCartney, Mortimer, Phil Smith, got that away, and he's having an unhappy night, the young fella. That pass has gone to Newtown. He's just not coming off as a ball distributor at the moment. Hetherington. Blythe. Doesn't look like a fellow with a badly, shockingly broken jaw, the way he's going about his work. Jensen, Robinson there. A tackle which had a ton of venom in it. Quite legal, but a ton of venom. Rodonicus. Folks met him head on. And Rodonicus got up and gave him a pat. That's how tough these fellas are. That's gone into the end goal. Now let's see what Cutler can do with it. He's got nowhere to go. That was an impossible situation for the fullback there. Wedged in against the touching goal line. No side space. And the opposition pounding down. There was almost no chance of him getting back into the field of play. By our clock, we've got about 3 minutes, perhaps lengthy delay with that minor fracas. Greg Watt. I saw him play reserve grade for Newtown a few weeks ago in the first round, and I thought he looked a good player. Hetherington. He looked as though he had those skills that good players do have.
Yes, he played in the centre that night, Rex.
Yes, he did, and he looked good. In fact, I picked him out.
Well, he came up from Wagga just to try out and see if he could make the grade, and he appears to have done that. A friend of Tommy Rodonicus's, I believe.
Right for dummy half, away to O'Brien, back inside to Rodonicus. Well picked up and then lost. The referee says, knock on, McRyan. It's a critical scrum. As we look at the scrums, they're 2-all. The penalties are 5-all, so you can't have it more evenly distributed than that. Canterbury come up with another scrum win there. And the hooter going in the background. The referee will call the end. The errors at that stage, 6-all. At the half-time break, the try scorer has been, all the points have been scored for Newtown by Phil Sigsworth. 3 penalty goals, or 3 goals and a try, and 1 try to the Canterbury-Bankstown wing three-quarter lead Pomfret. 11-3. Now, when a player has been with one club as long as Tommy Rodonicus, he becomes a piece of the furniture, accepted and perhaps even taken slightly for granted. Now, Tom's move to Newtown shocked many people, but not that scoreline. Newtown 11, or shall we say Sigsworth 11, Canterbury-Bankstown 3. It's been a very good performance by Newtown overall, highlighted by a marvellous display from the young fellow with goal kicking, 4 goals from 4 attempts, and a solo try, a really fine effort. Barry Ross has been in the dressing rooms, and I'm sure there's been a bit of hair flying in the Canterbury dressing room. How does Ted Glossop react to 11-3 down at half-time?
Well, Ted wasn't very happy at all. He thinks the defence is very slack on the Canterbury part, that they're letting the Newtown players run to them, that they should move up and take them very quickly. Maybe this half we'll see the kick over the top or a kick along the ground in the centres too. Ted feels that there's an opening out wide there. Newtown, on the other hand, Warren Ryan, you picked it, Rex. He said that the forwards were going one out too much, and the team are generally letting their big men do the work and not backing up the man on the ball, or the ball carrier not looking for someone to pass to.
Right, well, Rodonicus has got them back to halfway now with a little incisive dart. Oh, that pass was thrown anywhere. That was not clever football. Mortimer's snaffled the dregs, so to speak, of a pass from Bugden that went astray. And Newtown can ill afford that. But they've got these points up their sleeve at the moment. Mark Hughes has the ball knocked out of his hands. I think he's claimed that he was whacked across the mouth. Referee Braybrook says not, and play on. The sum total is O'Brien's got it for Newtown. Rodonicus nearly dropped that. O'Grady in the pass on the burst there to a support who came very, very close to him. McRyan, Blythe, standing in the tackle. He told the player. Rodonicus, Sigsworth, busted 2 tackles, still going. He's up to the quarter. Newtown's playing very good, solid football at the moment. O'Grady, O'Brien. Little step, and perilously close to being through. It took a good Paponis tackle around the knees to bring him down. Well, of course, there's one name that's not in this Newtown side tonight that indubitably will be before the season's very much older, and that's one of the very tough former Kiwis, Bill Noonan. Bill and I are good friends, and it's great to see one of the old veterans come back. I'd like him to own up to how old he is, Barry Ross.
How old Rex is?
How old you are, Bill?
Oh, I've forgotten.
Billy, you're out with a crook arm at the moment. Will you be back for the first comp game against Canterbury in 2 weeks?
Definitely.
And Bill, at 22 and a half, what about next season? What does that hold?
This year you're talking about?
No, next year, 1981.
Oh, mate, I'm going to retire gracefully next year.
Join Rex Mossop with touch football.
Yeah, something like that, with the veterans over 40, isn't it?
Over anything you like. Newtown well and truly on attack at the moment. Held up over the goal line. And being told the player he had to actually retract himself and come back into the field of play. O'Brien, there's an opening here. He's only about half a metre away. Jensen, Rodonicus. Oh, they're perilously close, but that was a very effective tackle there from Moffat, who is one of the strong young men, but I think we'll resist the impulse to put up any statistics on him at the moment because we've got such a close proximity to the line. If Newtown come up with the ball, Mark Mark Hughes. Paponis winning a critical scrum then. Now Mortimer. One of those electrifying little dashes of his, and he makes about a 20-metre break up towards the quarter line. They're relieving breaks, get a team off the hook. Mark Hughes. Smith. Don't try to release it too soon, son. I'm trying to coach him here from the commentary position. Very promising young man, just making a few errors tonight. Folks kicks. It's not going to find touch, is it? Well, it's rolling very close to it. Nicely done by Watt. Got the pass back inside to Chris Doyle. That was well timed. Mick Ryan goes for a sprint. Evades the tackle of Mark Hughes. Looking good. Got the pass back inside to Peter Ryan. He couldn't handle it. That'll be a knock-on. Rodonicus picked it up, but the knock-on's been called. Rodonicus dragged up bodily then by Peter Ryan, rather like a sack of chaff. Steve Mortimer being spoken to, as is Rodonicus. I don't think there's a great deal of love lost on the football field between these two. Oh, Tommy, you're a terrible man. Did you see that? Held the ball out to Mortimer and threw it behind him. That should have, if I'd have been a referee, that would have brought a penalty. Steve Mortimer to feed. That's a scrum penalty against Paponis, and the prop board on the side in which the ball came, raising their feet. Canterbury come up with the penalty. Lee Pomfret. Pretty useful kick too, about 15 metres inside the Newtown half, and they need points, Canterbury. Smith, unloaded, Mortimer. Oh, that's selling dumps. And just pass for the sake of passing to your outside men if they're covered. Pomfret featuring midfield. Driven sideways, gets up and plays it forward. He wasn't facing square on. The referee was quite right. Quite right. Have a look at it again, because he's getting a lot of booing, and the referee was totally right. Coveney got up and faced sideways and played that. You must face square on. Now watch it. Now watch where he's facing. You know, what is a referee to do? I mean, the rules are there. It's all done in the heat of the moment, of course. The sum total of it is Newtown back on attack. Just outside the quarter. With Doyle coming from dummy half and going into the quarter. 11-3. Newtown lead Canterbury-Bankstown at Henson Park. Oh, forward pass. Surely, yes. They're squandering some chances now. Over-enthusiasm starting to creep into it. Mortimer to feed. About 20 metres out. It's a clean scrum win. Mark used a beautiful pass to Cutler. Cutler got it to Peter Mortimer, but well wrapped up by Hetherington. Bonus. Mark Hughes. Smith gets his pass away. Robinson has it. Oh, and what a sidestep for the big fella. That's forward. It's offside. Yes, he passed it to the man in front of him. And I was amazed, and he's suggesting too that Robinson keep his knees down, is he? That was an amazing sidestep from Robinson. He's on the quarter line, and he's trying to make it 5 in a row. Now Cameron will tell the story. He squirts that one away badly. That was a bad kick. But the redeeming feature was that he kicked it dead. So the play restarts from the quarter line, and Newtown should get the ball back from the kick. O'Brien winds up and goes up towards halfway. Jensen, Bowden. a good inroad. They're playing it strongly up the middle and looking for support now. Rodonigus. Jeff Bagden. Promising big lad. Rodonigus. O'Grady. Mick Ryan. Pass went astray. And the penalty has gone to Canterbury-Bankstown. An offside pass attempted there by Mick Ryan. Otherwise, the man that the ball touched 10 metres short of the halfway line. We've had 13 minutes and time started to tick out for the Canterbury team. Smith looking to unload the ball all the time. Coveney. Mortimer. Ran into a hornet's nest there. Peter Ryan and Rodonigus. The long and the tall. Peter Mortimer. Rodonigus, the initial tackler, knocked him down. Steve Mortimer, a little kick over the top. He's found the open space with the bounce. It's lying free. O'Grady has it. Play on, says the referee. Coveney was the ultimate tackler there. Jackson. Referee Braybrook sprints to the Canterbury side of the ruck to get them back 5. They've got to look and unload the ball a little bit more, this Newtown pack. It's got to be worked on. It was a bad pass from Jensen. He smacks his hands in Rodonigus. I think he'd like to smack his mouth the way he's talking to him.
Newtown.
Canterbury. Tight marking now, both sides. The defence, beautifully half volleyed by Chris Anderson. That was a classy bit of football. The pass from Paponis was 2 metres short of him.
Canterbury, number 15, Wayne Clay, replaced number 13, Peter Smith.
Now that's the 6th. Sigsworth slips and falls. Still going. Evaded 1 tackle, 2. He's now, as you'll remember, been moved back to fullback, and Trevor Ryan, formerly Balmain and Balmain captain many times, has come back in onto the field. Bowden tackled. Inside the quarter, gets up and plays it forward. Charges like a wounded buffalo. He's got to within about 8 metres. Rodonigus. Oh, held his pass up beautifully. And look at this. Blasts into the top. Well, Rodonigus held that up magnificently. Newtown 14, Canterbury 3. And Tommy's not happy. See it again. Watch the little man in action. This is quality. Now watch him go forward, hold the pass up, and then wait till Bugden got through the defence and unloaded to Blythe. And I'm delighted to see Blythe score that try, and I'm happy for him on the occasion of his first major game after all the problems we had last year. That clever pass got him behind Robinson, did Rodonigus, and there was big Blythe. Number 10. Can really wrap this one up with a vengeance if he kicks this. He does. So the scoreline surges away. Newtown 16, Canterbury 3. It's been a long, long time for Newtown for the Newtown fans to get themselves into a situation of feeling their team's going to win a game this much before the end. The change of possession, the jolted pass. The jolted ball out of the body. Mark Hughes, Mortimer, Coveney coming on the burst, but running into plenty of defence there. Oh, Robertson. up, make sure there's no quick play the ball. Robinson going at him again. He really is a kamikaze, and there's going to be a penalty. Rodonic is going to be spoken to. Let's see it again. Well, Tommy came in very late, unnecessarily, and the referee has told him that he used his knees in that tackle, I feel.
In the Canterbury side, Rex Sullivan's on the left wing and Lee Pomfret is in the centres.
Okay. Ray Downey. Matilda Platt. Paponis. Steve Mortimer. Moffat. About 8 metres. That's about as close as they've been for a long while too. Paponis goes for a little jog. Anderson loses it forward, goes straight to Sigsworth. Who's had a memorable game. Bugden. Robinson and he wrestling there. Trevor Ryan having his first touch. It's a good incisive break. 10 metres outside the quarter. Walters, the replacement hooker.
Rex, I've got Barry Jensen here with me, the hooker that just came off. I'll just ask him a quick comment. Barry, your forwards found a lot of gaps out there against the Canterbury side. Why is this?
Oh, well, our forwards are, we've been training all week and sort of, we're just starting to get it together and, well, this is what they can produce tonight. Well, gee, big things for the season, for sure.
Right, very happy Barry Jensen, I'd suggest. That pass has gone astray. Out to Gary Sullivan. He's one of the replacements that come on. Don't know a lot about him. Folks. Downey, they're all the youngsters that have come on at the stage. Right on the quarter line, midfield. Paponis, Mark Hughes, Coveney, and look at this Newtown side swarming into the defend at the moment. The lead is 16-3. I don't think they're about to let Canterbury off the hook. Anderson runs from dummy half. Elusive player, makes about a 16-metre gain. Paponis. Mortimer. There's Cutler coming on the burst, one of their set-piece moves, and they wrapped him. Another scrum win, and that makes it Canterbury 8, Newtown 4. The penalties have gone 9-all, so Paponis has got over the top of the hookers in this Newtown side tonight, and got a 2-1 advantage at this stage. Anderson. It's been a long time since I've seen Canterbury look so mediocre. They've had a lot of injuries and a lot of problems, but there's little Steve Mortimer showing his wares. He evades 1-2, gets a boot and throws it away, and that, you'll understand, is Steve Mortimer's shoe. He hopes he doesn't find it before the end of the game. Well, that's a terrible pass. Really bad, Lee Pomfret.
For mine it is. I speak with some, I think, a little bit of experience on that. I was fortunate enough to have coached John Doherty when he made country first, and also I happened to be once again fortunate enough to coach Alan McMahon when he first made country first, and that started their career on the way. And I mean, I look at Phil Sigsworth and I think I'm seeing every bit as good as I saw when I was working with the other two. In fact, Phil Sigsworth, I think for mine, is a tough little player. He's probably tougher than either of the other two.
Well, Newtown squandered a great opportunity to score another try there, but Mark Hughes has come up with the ball, and he looks like he's been through a grand final, Mark Hughes. There's Robinson charging ahead, and he draws the defenders to him like flies round a honey pot. Having a bit of a snarl at each other out there too. metres out. Newtown look as though they're going to lie on another one before the match is over. O'Grady. Right through. Right through. The pass has gone astray. It'll be knock on. The referee claiming it came off his chest. I thought that was off his arms. But Cutler got the benefit of it. Lee Pomfret did well. Out to Anderson. Anderson comes inside Ryan, but not inside O'Grady, who's done some good covering. And that's the game. And what a game. And how long since you've seen the kids run onto the field at Henson Park and cheer their heroes. Look at this. The kids coming from anywhere. Now, I don't like children on the football field, but I reckon the Jets have been a long while without them, and good luck to them. 16-3, and the points have come from a try to Stephen Blythe, a try to Phil Sigsworth, 5 goals for Phil Sigsworth, and a solitary try for Canterbury to Lee Pomfret. It's been an absorbing game in many ways, and a great result if you're a Blue Bag supporter. Well, the cat got among the pigeons at Henson Park. I thought a very good display by the Newtown Jets, 16-3. There's no fluke about that at all, and I really do believe that young Phil Sigsworth is going to have the representative selectors having a look at him. He was playing out of position as a centre. He's normally a fullback, and he blitzed them. Everything he did came to goal, but he's been a great player for Newtown for several seasons. It's good to see the young man really achieving all the good things that a lot of people think about him. His coach has rapped on him. In the other match that was played tonight, Eastern Suburbs 19 defeated South Sydney 12 at the Sydney Cricket Ground, and I'm told Eastern Suburbs played some very, very good football. Their winger Michaels too scored a try, at least a try, one try, and I'm told his pace was absolutely blistering. So a Corowa Michaels run in one of these days might be very interesting to look at. Tomorrow, recollect, at 6:30 p.m. on Sunday night, the normal Channel 7 Big League time slot, we've got the fixture between Saints and Cronulla from Jubilee Oval. And don't forget Sports World tomorrow, 11 through 1, back to the normal time. This is Rex Mossop from Henson Park, signing off.
Incredible desolation.